Assalamu alaikum and welcome to your English channel EasyBug Prep. In this video we're going to talk about the different types of writing tasks that you have in the writing section of your English paper, English exam paper. في هذه الحصة غادي نتطرقوا للأنواع ديال الكتابات اللي كتكون مطالبين بها في لا سيكسيون ديال writing من في الورقة ديال الامتحان ديالكم. So the first one is dialogue completion. So in this activity they ask you to complete a dialogue. Either they give you the questions and they ask you to complete with answers, or they give you the answers and they want you to find the corresponding questions to the answers. So in this kind of exercise, so if they ask you to find the question, so the first thing that you should do is to read the answers, and the answers can help you find which questions you are going to ask. And if they ask you to find the answers, so they are just going to read the questions and you're going to answer them according to the content of the questions, and maybe they may ask you to write or to use your own information. In paragraph completion, students are given an introductory sentence and they ask you to complete with information that you can come up with, which means that you have the first sentence that can guide you, and you are going to write other sentences that have a relation to the first one, so that you have a complete coherent paragraph. And it's not a difficult task since you are given the first sentence, so you're just going to add a few sentences using linking words, of course, like first, next, after that, and so on, or in addition to this, moreover. Okay, and the third task is ordering sentences to form a paragraph. And in this activity, you are given a set of sentences with letters, okay, and they ask you to read them, and you try to order them and put them in the right order so that you can get a paragraph. And in this kind of writing, what you need to do is to pay attention to the linking words in the sentences, because they give you a clue which sentence to put first and which one to put after. For example, first, next, after that. Or maybe you can have dates, and these dates can help you to find which one is first, which one is after, and so on. The fourth one is writing an email, and the email you have informal and formal. So an informal email is a short kind of letter that you write to a friend, a relative, or a member of your family. And in this kind of writing, of course, you're going to use informal language that you use with your friends and so on. In the formal email, the formal email is a kind of email that you send to for example, to a university, to for example, to the manager of a company, and so on. And in this kind of email, the language that you use is very formal, which means more respectful than the one and more elaborate than the one that you use when you write to a member of your family or to a friend of yours. The next one is letter writing, or writing a letter. So, and in writing letters, so in letter writing you have personal letters which you send to members of your family or relatives, and again you are going to write or to use informal language that you use with your friends. And in writing in which you're asked to send it to, for example, to somebody, to an administration, to a businessman, and so on. So you're going to use formal language, more elaborate language, and in this letter you are asked to write both addresses, your address and the address of the person you are sending the letter to, starting with dear sir or madam if you don't know the person who's going to receive your letter, and you use dear if you know the person's name. You're going to use their first and last name, okay, and then you start your letter, and of course you need a closing phrase that you don't use in the person's letter. For example, yours faithfully, yours truly, and so on. The next writing task is writing a film or a book review. So writing a film review, which means it's a kind of writing in which you talk about the title of the film that you have seen, the actors or the characters of the people in the characters in the movie, a summary of the story, and the kind of techniques used in the movie, for example, the special effects. And after that, you try to evaluate the film. How do you evaluate it? Do you like it, or you don't like it? Do you recommend other people to see it or not? And so on. So the book review is nearly the same. So here, the first one, writing about a movie, and the next one is writing about a book that you have read in Arabic, French, or English, and you're going to write about the title of the book, the author, the characters in the story, a short summary of the story, and again an evaluation of the book. The style, you can talk about the style. You can talk about your evaluation of the book. For example, do you like it? You don't like it? Do you recommend people to read it or not? And so on. The next one is writing a report. So in writing a report is that you're going to write to talk about an event that happened somewhere for example, in your school, in your city, in your village. And so I'm going to write about it and give detailed information about the event, the objective of the event, the participants in the event, the people invited to this event, and the activities in the event, and the people's reaction or evaluation of this event, and so on. We move now to writing an article or an essay. So for the article, the essay, the baccalaureate exam, they look alike. So again, to start with an introduction, a development. Okay, it can be 2 paragraphs, 2 or 3 paragraphs, and of course a conclusion. So for the article and the essay, they look the same. Describing a picture. So in this kind of activity, students are given a picture with something inside, people, somewhere. So you are going in this kind of activity, you're going to talk about what you can see. For example, the people in the picture, what the people are doing, where are the people, for example, in a garden, somewhere in a store, somewhere else, and so on. And they ask you to describe it, and you try to invent a kind of story, starting from the picture. So you can say, for example, in this picture, I can see some people, for example, in a garden. For example, you can see mothers sitting somewhere and their kids playing in the garden. The mothers talking, so you can talk about what time of day is it, what you can see, for example, this on the right, on the left, at the top, at the bottom of the picture, and so on, and try to build a kind of story around that picture. Okay, we've come to the end of this video, and I hope you will, if you want to have something practical, I'd like you to have a look at the videos I've already published on these types of writings, and I will also follow by other types that I haven't talked about. بالنسبة لهاد types of writing اللي هضرنا عليهم، راه كاينين واحد المجموعة ديال لي فيديو اللي سبق ليا نشرتهم في القناة، وكاينين الآخرين غادي إن شاء الله نحاولوا ننشرهم في الحلقات الجاية إن شاء الله. وإذا كان شي حاجة اللي هذا اللي بغيتو نتذاكروا عليها، حاولوا باش تخلوها لنا في لي كومونتير، وإن شاء الله غادي نحاولوا ندرجوها في الحلقات المقبلة. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Take care.